I'm finding that as I get older, I used to hear people saying, "Oh, it must be exhausting on stage," because I move around a bit, and as you said, I make some stuff up within it. There's usually a musical element now, da 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 da. I'm up and down, so there's a physicality to it. But I'm finding now, I'm 55, that yeah, a show does take it out of you, and the mental side of it, you're pretty bloody focused.
I suppose that thing of like going, what's the difference between a funny guy in life and being funny professionally is being able to sort of turn it on and go, right, I'm on a panel show. I will deliver now for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, and also doing it no matter what's going on in your life.
That's the time when comedy pays out. I always think it's a very sad thing. If there's 1,000 people in a theatre, I always try and think about the people that really need it.
Yeah.
Like, if there's 1,000 people there, most of them, I'd say at least 950 are doing great. They've bought tickets to a comedy show because they think you're funny anyway. So there's a high before the high, and then they come to the show with the intention of laughing. You're preaching to the choir. But then I always think there's a bunch of people there, 5%, 10%, whatever it is, that are having a bad day.
Yeah, yeah.
That have lost someone in the last sort of 6 weeks or something. That especially when we go back out post-pandemic, that have had a really grisly time and kind of need this. And actually, in my life, the times when humour has really had a benefit have been the very rough times.
Yeah.
Remember when my mother died, going back on stage, and it was a 20 minutes back then, 20 minutes kind of respite from grief. Yeah. Because you were on stage and your conscious mind was too busy.
Yeah.
With being on stage, the kind of the adrenaline of it, you were too busy doing that, and then you come off and kind of flump afterwards. But it was a really nice thing to have a bit of a break.
Do you sense when you look at an audience that the vast majority, hey, come to see Jimmy, fantastic, this is my experience. But there's going to be a percentage that are there either because someone at work couldn't go, so do you want to have the ticket instead? Or it's the partner of the fan who's come along. And
oh, no, a third of my income is from people that don't like me. Oh, no, 100%. I remember that sometimes you've got to be careful because sometimes on stage, I look around at people. I always like the house lights up a little bit. I like to be able to see people's faces. I like to be able to, some people don't like that at all. They want pitch black. I like to be able to see people's faces, see if they're laughing, see what works. Sort of, it's better for your timing, I think, that visual thing of hearing with your, like, what's going on. And you always identify a couple of people that are very stony-faced. In Montreal, doing my first hour in Montreal, I remember it was like me and Zach Galifianakis had the same room. We were both doing hours sort of back-to-back, and I did an hour, and there was about maybe 200 people in, not a huge room. There's a guy in the front row, just stony-faced, looking at me. Just give me the stink eye all the way through. And the show went great. And then afterwards, I was like, it really bothered me. And afterwards, I was walking out and he was in the lobby. And I thought, this guy's going to be offended by something or whatever. Great. I'd love to have a word with this guy. And he comes up to me and he goes, I born Italy. Grew up in Basel. English, my fourth language. I really have to concentrate. But you're the best. I love you the most.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, I was all keyed up for the guy to go.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
So, which means that we can get it wrong. You are brilliant at comebacks to heckles. I'm guessing that after a while, the heckles you've heard them all, basically.
The idea that when you're in a room, let's say there's 1,000 people come and see you at a theatre in Inverness, they all share your sense of humour.
Yeah.
There's an incredible kind of, and you kind of go, it's such a waste that they don't get to say anything. you know that there are great stories out there.
Yeah, yeah.
The audience members might not be able to carry a show, but there's great little stories, there's great vignettes, there's great little things.
And sometimes you'll get a damn witty heckle. I mean, I've had that. I've had some where I've just applauded and I've said that might be the funniest thing you hear all evening. There are funny people out there, but thank God most
kind of
of them.
Empowering them to join in is lovely.
Yeah, yeah.